Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited. We're talking about the brand new Beiges Summer 2024 collection. I went in store to Holt Renfrew. I picked up one of the beautiful new oversized striped palettes. I have the shade medium rose gold. We're gonna go ahead and use it and try to do a full face with it. That's today's video. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. Okay, so for today's video, I will do product information, breakdown, things like that. I'll do swatches, a live application here, full face, and then at the end, I'll do a swatch comparison with anything and everything that I can think of. So first things first, the new Beiges Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder. There are 5 shades to choose from, and let's just talk about that right away because that was really confusing seeing that online. So here are the 5 shades available. There's light coral, medium rose gold, deep rose gold, and then deep mauve. So personally, I land in the light to medium complexion category. Today I'm wearing the Complexion Touch in the shades 30 and 40. And when I saw these photos online, I thought, okay, I'll probably go with like medium coral. That seems to be my shade range, but it's very confusing. I ended up going with medium rose gold, which was really surprising to me because I thought that that would be way too dark. It actually does work on my complexion. So even though it seems as though Chanel has been trying to be more inclusive and including deeper shades, I don't think that they have quite succeeded with this collection here because I have seen all sorts of comments from you guys saying that some of you are my complexion or a little bit lighter and you're even wearing the deep mauve. So it's the Wild West out there. So this one here, it is 15 grams of product. You get 15 grams of actual makeup inside, and this is 115 Canadian plus tax. Yeah. So something I noticed here is when you open it, you don't get a pouch. So I can go ahead and like unbox it with you guys here in a way. I already took it out of the box, but when you take it out like this, you just have the box. There's no pouch, there's no little velvet velour sheath. Also, there's no brush. Sometimes there comes like an oversized little flat brush here. There is none of that. And I remember last year or the year before when they did the other oversized face palettes, it was the same situation, which I think is unfortunate because I like the little velour pouch. It's really good if you travel, which I do. Also, it's Chanel, so it's nice to have a little velour pouch. And getting some sort of little brush applicator, even though I don't always use them, I think is nice. You know, usually some of the older ones that I have, you know, something like this, something oversized like this would have been nice with this one here. I have the ingredients here. I'll go ahead and put this here and then I'll pause it, or you can go ahead and pause it actually, and you can go ahead and read that if there's any allergies you have or sensitivities. And what else? It says it expires within 18 months of use. I will definitely keep mine for longer than that. And it was made in Italy. So the outside packaging here, it's already very schmutzy. It looks like the classic Chanel Beige. This is oversized. It's the same size as the oversized bronzers that came out last year or the year before. They're both 15 grams of product. So it's the same quantity of product. And this is what the medium rose gold looks like. This looks like gorgeous Neapolitan ice cream. You know, when it came to choosing one of these oversized bronzers, I think for me it came down to the blush. Because a lot of the bronzers, quite frankly, almost look indistinguishable. There's really not that much nuance between the bronzers. They're very similar. Unfortunately, none of them seem to be very cool toned. I couldn't really see one that was cool toned. Some of them are slightly neutral, but not even. They're all very warm. All of the bronzers in this series here are very warm. I didn't see one that was very cool. And it really seems to come down to the blush. The only exception in the bronzer range is the deep mauve. That is the one that is much deeper, but between light coral and the deep rose gold, the bronzers in person kind of look all the same. Not like they're not all the exact same, but they're really not that different. So there is that. So let's go ahead. Let me do a sniff here. A little bit of a scent. I have to apologize. I'm suffering from tremendous hay fever allergies at the moment. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. I can feel it. The hay fever is really just traumatic at the moment for my sinuses, but it doesn't seem to be much of a scent. And it is very pretty. I do like the ridges. It's giving sand dunes, and Les Beiges always comes out in the summer. It's very evocative of the Mediterranean, of beach weather. That's the vibe, that's the inspiration normally for the Les Beiges. What I find interesting is that this year, I really haven't seen much promotional material. It seems as though a lot of the different boutiques have been selling the collections in the States, in Canada, and the UK, and everywhere, and different department stores. And I don't know if everything has sort of been sold on the market before the actual online marketing, which I find very strange. I don't know what's up with that. Typically, like I stated, Les Beiges, it's evocative of summer and Mediterranean and warm weather. I just haven't seen that inspiration or that fantasy presented to me yet. At the counter, there was no promotional material regarding that. There was a lot of other releases happening at the same time, but nothing really Les Beiges. So let's just go ahead and enjoy this one last moment before we go ahead and do some beautiful swatches. I think medium rose gold is very pretty, and let's go ahead. I did try this in person and I did like it, so let's just do some swatches. I'll be careful at first anyway, just to get separate swatches. Here we have all three stripes. So the top shade in each palette is the highlighter, illuminator, brightening powder. The center one is the bronzer, and then the bottom one is the blush. You can, of course, take your brush and swirl it all around and just mix them all together, which, you know, I may do in the future, but today I will go ahead and respect the integrity of the stripe. So that's what these look like here, just to give you a close-up. And there is definitely a difference between the top powder and the bottom two. This one looks more luminous, it looks more satiny. It has a little bit more, it's not glitter at all, but it looks brighter. It has some shift to it. It looks like an illuminating powder. And the bottom two feel very similar, and they just feel like beautiful matte but velvety powders. Using a Refer 04 brush, it's a nice angled brush. I'll just dip into the center shade here very lightly, and then I'll go ahead and apply it here. I wasn't able to do the application myself at the counter. I was helped by Julia. She's the business manager at the Chanel beauty counter at Holt Renfrew. I'll go ahead and provide her information down below. If you live in Montreal, Les Régions, or even in Canada, I'm pretty sure they can ship to you. I really love this Refer brush here because it's short, it's angled, and it's really perfect for getting into this little stripe here. So this is the medium rose gold, and just from the name, you would expect it to be a bit deeper. And the stripe or the swatch that I took earlier, it looks more intense, but as you can see, it's very soft and buildable here. And a little bit on the bridge of the nose here. Let's go into the blush next. I'm using the Chanel blush brush. I'll just tap into this one here. This is the blush that was the most interesting to me because I do have coral blush or bronzer palettes for summer, but I do like something pink, you know? I do like a little bit of a cooler look sometimes, and as much as I love coral, it's just nice to switch it up a little bit. I haven't applied the bronzer shade yet, but the medium rose gold, the blush has a rose gold reflection. I don't know if you can see it here, but it just sort of catches the light and it looks rose gold. That's interesting. So it seems as though the names like medium coral, medium rose gold, I think is more indicative of the blush itself, because there is a rose gold reflection in this blush here. It's almost not like a blush topper, but you can see it just on the little apple here. You can see that rose gold reflection. Now for the highlighter here, I'm going into the Sigma tapered brush. So for myself, I think this is going to be more of a topper shade. It does have luminosity and lightness to it, but I think I'm just going to mix it in with the blush and the bronzer here. I think I would honestly mix both of these together for a very luminous glow. You know, I do think that these are sort of envisioned in mind with you swirling these together a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of that lighter color here. And using a dual-ended brush, I'm just going to go into these two here. And I'm just going to sweep this on the lid, because I do imagine this as a travel palette, because you can do your full face, but again, they didn't include the little velvet pouch, which is really ideal for travel because it helps prevent breakage if you drop it, if you ding it. You know, even if you're not dropping the palette, it's just if you're putting this as checked luggage, it might get knocked around. Even just in your purse, in your handbag as it's moving around, it's nice to have that little protection. But it is working nicely. It kind of just looks like my skin tone, but a little bit warmer. I don't want to look like, wow, she has bronzer on her eyes. It's more just to mix the colors together. This is another dual-ended brush. Just going to define the lashes a little bit. And I know that a lot of the promo photos, eventually when we get them, they have the models, you know, at the beach wearing makeup, but I never wear makeup at the beach. It's more the fantasy that I'm wearing today. And even if I was on the Mediterranean, I would not be, I mean, it depends on the day, depends how hot it would be, but I probably wouldn't be wearing this much makeup. I just added a touch of mascara. This is the Givenchy Interdit. And then the lipstick is the Rouge Coco Flash 82 Live or Live. It's a little bit pink, so it goes well with the blush from the palette. This is like the eye look. I wanted something extremely light and like me, but better. I think that this is very pretty. You really can't tell that it's bronzer on the eyes. It just looks warm. Okay, so let's do some swatch comparisons. I'm sorry, I'm just sort of captivated by the rose gold reflection. I think that that is very pretty because when you just sort of see it in the palette, it looks like a pretty pink, but you don't necessarily see the rose gold reflection even that much on the back of the hand. It's more when you blend it out and you wear it. Now we have moved on to the swatch component part of the video. So this blush here, it makes me think of the Les Beiges Winter Glow blush, the Rose Polaire, because that one's a little bit of a rose gold, but way more subtle. So I think what I'll start doing now is just some swatch comparisons. I think I'll try to swatch everything that I can think of that's maybe related. So the first item here are the two oversized Les Beiges compacts. I just thought that would make sense. The first one here is the Soft Peach, which was the oversized illuminating powder. That's this one here. This one I think was not available worldwide. It came out in Canada, but not in the US, and I think parts of Europe and the UK. So, sorry, that's this one here. Soft Peach was more matte. It was almost like an illuminating brightening powder. And then we have the Sunbath Deep, the oversized bronzer. I remember this one being quite deep on me. So deep is much deeper than the medium rose gold. That's medium rose gold here. Medium rose gold almost looks warmer and more golden. Chanel really loves their warm gold bronzers. And I have a Sunset here. Also Les Beiges from this was a few years ago. I think this one will be closer to medium rose gold. Let me just dig in here for a second. This is Sunset here. So Sunset is more luminous. It has more of a gold reflection. It's a bit lighter as well. So Sunset, if you have Sunset, it's a little bit lighter than medium rose gold, and it's also more yellow, which is interesting. I have a couple of the classic Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow powders. They come with a little brush here and also the little velvet pouches. I have number 20. I'm not even going to bother swatching it because number 20 is just like a face powder on me. But these ones here, these have 12 grams of product. It's interesting because you'd think that because these are oversized that they would have like 30 grams of product. They don't. This is 15 grams of product here and this is 12. So you're paying for like the mirror. And I just have to note as well that the oversized highlighting powders that came out over the holidays, you know, like 15 different highlighters, those are also the same size as these here. And those are also 115 Canadian plus tax. However, the one that I just showed you here, the one that's 12 grams of product, the classic Les Beiges Healthy Glow powder, this one is only 78 Canadian plus tax, just so you know. I have my classic OG bronzer from Chanel. It looks disgusting, okay? It looks used and abused and very well loved. This is the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sheer Powder. This is the shade number 50 here. It's hit hard pan. It's hit hard times as well. So, okay, let me just dig in here. I think this one here may need to be retired and put out of its misery. I don't think that this is quite 50. I think that the medium rose gold again is a little bit warmer than 50. I think 50 might be a bit deeper. I apologize for the swatch. It's hard pan and it's well past its prime. But yeah, I think 50 is deeper and a bit more neutral than medium rose gold. I have the Les Beiges Winter Glow. See this one here, the blush. It comes with a little palette, or not a palette, a brush. It comes with a little brush like this. So that's cute. The blush that I'm wearing from the palette, it makes me think of this one here. This is Rose Polaire. It's beautiful. It's like a rose gold pink. But this one here, you do have to build it up to get a good color payoff. And I'm just swatching it here. I think that these look similar. I think that the Rose Polaire is more peach and the one here from Medium Rose Gold is more pink. But you can sort of see the luminosity sheer when you sheer it out more. I think that these are close. I think if you like one, you would like the other. Those of you out there who really like this one or who missed out, I think you would like Medium Rose Gold for the blush component. And you get that luminosity, that rose gold lit from within. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Hourglass blushes, where it's a mix of blush and highlighter, that sort of glow to it. Now let's just keep swatching here. I have the Dior, what's it called? The Forever Natural Bronze Glow 031 Coral. That's this one here. So again, we're seeing lots of stripes and, you know, mixtures of bronzers and highlighters and blushes. So this one here, I think that this is going to be way more, oh yeah, it's much more, it's lighter. I was gonna say neutral, but I don't think that's correct. That's this one here. So that's the bronzer we're comparing it to. It is much lighter, 031. And let me just swirl this portion here. So one of the reasons I wanted to get the pink blush is because I do have the coral glow here, and I didn't want to have the exact same thing all summer. I wanted to mix things up. So this is very different here. than the medium rose gold. I could also swatch the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush. This one here is very different though. This one's a blush that sort of activates with your skin's pH, and it's, I don't want to say matte. It has a nice, like a healthy glow, but it's not going to be quite as luminous. So you can see that this one here, the medium rose gold, looks deeper, almost looks not, I don't want to say fuchsia, but it looks different. And the one from the Backstage Dior one looks brighter and more cool toned. Very different. I think that the Les Beiges blush is the closest so far. I also have the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter number 3. It's the liquid highlighter, basically. It's a highlighter, it's a primer. I'm just wondering if it'll be close to the highlighter from the palette. No, it's lighter. It's a bit lighter than the highlighter from the palette, and it's a liquid as well. Maybe once it dries down, you can see a little bit closer. I'll see if I have any highlighters that are a little bit deeper that might be closer to this one here. Let's keep swatching. I have the Dior Forever Natural Bronze 05 Warm Bronze. I think this one might be close to the bronzer from our new medium rose. Yeah, that's this one here, and that's what we're matching here. It's close, but I think medium rose gold is a little bit different. It looks a little bit brightener and a bit more satiny, but we're getting there. And I can swatch also the Tom Ford bronzer. This one is just like the picturesque, ideal, neutral, cool leaning bronzers. Like if I was going to make my own bronzer, I think I would try to copy this one here because it's beautiful. That's this one here. I think this is going to be extremely different than medium rose gold. You can just sort of see it looks more neutral and cool compared to everything else we have on the back of the hand here. I think in terms of luminosity, the texture and finish looks similar, but that's about it. Let's keep swatching. I have the Chantecaille bronzer in Goa here. This one's nice. This one's a little bit deeper as well, so it might give you a reference here compared to this one. Okay. I think they're not dupes, but they're similar-ish. I'm never really sure how it's going to look on camera versus in person. Again, not dupes, but close. Like I think if you're wearing Goa, you could easily wear this, but as you can see, I'm wearing this palette here and it's not too deep. I did dip into it a bunch of times, but I didn't like scratch into it. I think you could build it up, but you know, it's up to you. Okay, could do a couple more. I have the Chantecaille Serena. This one here, if I remember correctly, it's a little bit lighter, maybe more yellow. This is Serena. I always mix it up with Serena or Sienna, so we just kind of running out of real estate here. Actually, maybe Serena is closer to the medium rose gold. Not a perfect dupe, but I think, okay, if you're wearing Serena or Goa, even more Serena, I think this one's pretty close to Serena. I think so, actually. I think it's very close to Serena. I think that is close to Serena, but I think medium rose gold might be a hint warmer and a hint lighter. So yeah. What are my final thoughts, impressions, etc.? I think that this is very pretty. I think that the blush is the best part of this palette here. I really like when Chanel does these striped bronzer palettes for Les Beiges because it's been a very long time since they've done that. However, I really don't need this to be oversized because it's so much product. I mean, you've seen some of my ancient bronzers here. They still have product in there even though I've hit pan because they're just so big. I would love to see this, but just regular scale. Like just give me a regular sized bronzer and just give me the 3 stripes. It is nice in the oversized because that way you can target one shade in particular, but I personally don't need that much. Like I don't need a jumbo palette, because also if it's for travel, the bigger the palette, the more annoying it is to travel with, you know? So even though it is a multi-use, multi-purpose product, like I didn't buy this because it's oversized. I bought it because of the stripes. I thought that was interesting. They haven't done this in a very long time. And yeah, what else do I think? I think that the blush is the best part. I think that's the most exciting part for me. That being said, is it the most, like, okay, so I'm having issues here because it is very pretty. I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's pretty. It's rose gold. It's luminous. I like the effect. I really, really do. But you may have something like this. If you have a rose gold blush, you may be able to do this combination at home with one of your palettes, like with one of your bronzers and the blush. I think it's very pretty. I think the closest to it is the one that literally just came out, which is another Les Beiges collection for winter, which I think is weird. Like, why would they do the same thing twice? I don't know, but this one here is more peachy. But I don't really know why Chanel is on a jumbo oversized kick. It's almost like they saw 5 years ago that all the other brands were doing jumbo oversized eyeshadow palettes, and now people are more interested in complexion, so they're like, oh, we're going to do jumbo oversized complexion products. Does that make sense? I really like this. I think it's pretty. I'm going to use it a lot, but I don't think it's like the most earth shattering, sadly, because I also have, I almost forgot, my RMS Beauty bronzer, which I got a couple weeks ago. This is the shade Tan Lines, and as you can see, it's very well loved. It looks horrendous after weeks of use. Let me just swatch this one here. So this is Tan Lines, and Tan Lines is lighter, more neutral. It's more of a neutral bronzer compared to this one here. And this one here from RMS Beauty melts in the skin like butter. I don't find that the bronzer component melted into the skin. Like, yes, it blended very nicely. You could see that it is it's deeper here. And as I'm wearing it, it looks seamless. It does look nice, but it didn't melt quite as much as the RMS Beauty one. So I don't know, like, I think it's very pretty. I'm happy that I bought it, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something missing. Hi, it's me from the future. I had some more thoughts about the bronzer powder, so I swatched these again. And so this is the highlighter, the bronzer, and then the blush. And you can see that they all have luminosity. I kept saying reflection. I meant to say luminosity. So you can see that they all have it, but the bronzer center shade has a little bit less. And I think that's what the RMS Beauty bronzer has, that this one here I think is lacking a little bit. It feels soft, it feels silky, but I think it could have even more shift. Like, you can see that luminosity there, but the side shades have more. And I think that the bronzer could benefit from a little bit more glow, just like a little bit more. Also, touching on everything being oversized, maxi sized, whatever. Like, I don't need my bronzers to be Costco sized. So I don't know, like, for me, it's not really like a selling point. Like, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just neutral. So I want to know how you feel about the oversized, maxi, jumbo beauty, because I think there's going to be other oversized beauty products, apparently, allegedly, coming from the brand this year. So I want to know what you think. Where is the Les Beiges Fantasy? It's just been like, it's so much. You know, you go to the counter and there's like a new perfume, 15 new eyeshadows, new mascara, these oversized bronzers, but I just wish they would focus on one collection at once. Just give me Les Beiges. Just give me the Les Beiges Fantasy. And I wish that Chanel would do this formula here from RMS Beauty, because it feels silkier than Chanel. Yeah, like there's a difference in texture. It feels nice, but it doesn't feel as silky or as buttery as RMS Beauty. Sorry, but that's the truth. So yeah, it's nice, it's pretty, it's not earth-shattering. I'm going to keep using it, I'm going to keep wearing it, but you know, I have these oversized bronzers and healthy glow powders from Chanel that I don't really use anymore, so that's sad. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I cannot wait to hear from you in the comments. Let me know which one you picked up, which one you reserved, because a lot of you already have these because they've just been popping up in different locations, boutiques, and department stores. Let me know what you think. Let me know which shade you got. Do you like it? I'm sure you do. Like, it's not a bad bronzer. It's just, I don't know, there's something, some sort of silkiness, some sort of butteriness, some magical component missing, because the Les Beige Healthy Glow powders used to have that. They used to have that, it almost looked like a self-tanner in a way, you know, like just that beautiful, healthy glow that just looked luminous. That used to be there, and I don't exactly see it in this palette here, and I wish that it was, because I do really love the blush, and if that element was there, this would be like a phenomenal product. I think it's a fine product, but it was $115, so yeah. Anyway, I do have a bunch more products that I picked up from Chanel as well. I decided to just sort of divide this up because it's like too much. I also have new eyeshadows, these singles. I have some new Chance scented soaps. What else did I get? I got a mascara and a lip treatment. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you do so. You're definitely going to miss out if you're not subscribed. You're going to miss out on a ton of reviews and tutorials. So make sure you're subscribed. If you've made it to the end of the video, please leave a little brown heart emoji in honor of Les Beige, of bronzer and bronzer season. That is all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.